Congressional Human Rights Caucus convened a special hearing to look into the abuses and heard from a host of witnesses presented by the Kuwaiti ambassador to the U.S.
They tortured him, they abused him, and after 10 days of torture, they brought him to his parents' home, called out all of the family members, the neighbors, and shot him dead in front of his mother.
I stayed behind and wanted to do something for my country.
But the most compelling testimony came from an anonymous 15-year-old Kuwaiti girl.
Volunteered at the Al-Adan hospital.
She said she witnessed firsthand Iraqi soldiers removing Kuwaiti babies from hospital incubators and then stealing the incubators.
While I was there, I saw the Iraqi soldiers come into the hospital with guns. They took the babies out of the incubators. Took the incubators and left the children to die on the cold floor.
We have never heard, in all this time, in all circumstances, a record of inhumanity and brutality and sadism as the ones that the witnesses have given us today.
Only later was it discovered that the girl was actually the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador, and that there were doubts about whether she had actually seen the events she described.
Hearings.
I have to ask why she was not identified as your daughter when she gave that testimony. To the House Committee, or the House Caucus.
Well, for security reasons, I didn't believe it was just for her safety.
Did the Human Rights Caucus members and the chair people know who she was?
Yes, of course
they knew her identity.
They knew her identity, and they knew exactly what the girl was telling them was the truth.
How many people knew that she was the ambassador's daughter?
I didn't. I don't know who knew. I did not know she was the ambassador's daughter.
No, I don't know. The truth of the story, but it certainly undermined her credibility, and in a certain sense undermined the credibility of the administration.
22 premature babies. They all died, and then they shot the hospital employees.
George Bush rose up in righteous anger and called this aggression a la the Nazi era.
The fight is about naked aggression.
The American people didn't quite understand that. Then the next argument was that the war was about oil, we had to protect oil.
If control of the world's great oil reserves fell into the hands of that one man, Saddam Hussein.
The banners came out in Harvard Square, hell no, we won't go, we won't die for Texaco. That really didn't resonate. And then if you recall, Jim Baker got up there and said it's about jobs, jobs, jobs.
If you want to sum it up in one word, it's jobs.
The American people said, what's this all about?
I'm deeply concerned about Saddam's efforts to acquire nuclear weapons.
And then the final thing which capped the demonization of Saddam Hussein was the announcement that Saddam Hussein was secretly working on weapons of mass destruction, chemicals, biologicals, and most of all, nuclear weapons.
And that's what we're dealing with.
You still don't get it, do you?
Resolution only deepened the fears of the American people.
There was very little public support in the United States with the idea of going to war in the Persian Gulf. In fact, it was overwhelmingly opposed. If we were going to fight a war, we had to do so with the support of the American people. If possible, with the support of the American Congress. But that if we were going to send people, Americans, off to die in the Persian Gulf, we had to be able to survive the judgments of history, that we didn't do so precipitously.
You still don't get it, do you?
It is midnight in New York, marking the end of a day that will forever change the city's skyline and forever change any notion of America's isolation, its safety in an increasingly dangerous world.
Cameras capture the horror as the North Tower of the World Trade Center is rocked by a plane crash, and watch as another plane enters the picture, plowing into the South Tower.
New York gripped by chaos, and many fear the worst, with reports of thousands missing and presumed dead.
And the U.S. Capitol shares in New York's misery as a hijacked plane strikes at the nerve center of America's military might.
And then it was just about 18 minutes after that attack, another plane appears and also flies directly into the second of the Twin Towers. That aircraft, later identified as a Boeing 757 belonging to United Airlines.
It did prove to be true, the crash of a fourth passenger plane, this one in a wooded area of Pennsylvania Presidential Retreat in Maryland. Local emergency officials say they received a phone call from a man who identified himself as a passenger of the flight en route to San Francisco from Newark. The caller said the plane was being hijacked, crashed about 10 minutes later. 45 people were on board.
It was Dr. Mark Heath. Dr. Heath kept rolling, as we say in the news business, and this is what he saw with as little commentary from us as possible.
I hope I live. It's coming down on me.
Right out of Hollywood Central Casting.
Here it comes. I'm getting behind a car.
Right out of Hollywood Central Casting.
No one can go in to get the people out. There's small explosions still going on. Looking north on the West Side Highway. You guys going in? Yeah. Come with you. You know, you might not want to get too much closer, because the more buildings could come down, then we're not going to help anybody. All right. I think we should. Yeah.
Where's the incident come out?
Let's just. Yeah. Okay. Let's just wait right here. Let's just station up right here. Okay. All right, Doc. Yeah. We just heard another explosion.
And we don't know how many we've lost. But there's no doubt we've lost some firefighters and police officers.
Right out of Hollywood Central Casting.
Do you know anything about the cause of the explosions that brought the two buildings down yet? Was it caused by the planes or by something else?
We believe that it was caused by the after effects of the planes hitting the buildings. We don't know of an additional explosion.
Can go in to get the people out. There's small explosions still going on. Yeah. We just heard another explosion.
Report that 8 planes have been hijacked, 4 have only been accounted for. What about the remaining 4? And is there any possibility that there could be bombs on the ground planted by...
We have no...
We just heard another explosion.
I don't know the answer to that.
Mr. Mayor, I got reports of gas explosions related to this. Are you aware of that?
Oh, right. This is great stuff. I could make a career out of this guy. You see how clever this part is? How it doesn't require a shred of proof? And most paranoid delusions are intricate, but this is brilliant. Why were the other two?
No one can go in to get the people out. There's small explosions still going on. Yeah. We just heard another explosion.
After the attack, we want to share this with you. These are some of the words from people who were there. These are their own words.
Standing next to One World Trade Center, and then all of a sudden I heard rumbling, and we all started running away from it. The glass like blew out and threw me onto the sidewalk. And the glass like blew out and threw me onto the sidewalk. The glass like blew out and threw me onto the sidewalk, and I couldn't see for like 20 seconds. And then I started seeing vaguely the street.
It was complete darkness. We just had to crawl our way out.
Just went boom, it was like a bomb went off. Boom, it was like a bomb went off. And it was like holy hell coming down them stairs. And then when we finally got to the bottom, they were coming out on the mezzanine level there, and then another explosion came right from it, just everyone. Another explosion came right from it, just everyone flying. And then another explosion came right from it, just everyone flying. Right in front of me, everything just went boom.
Still don't get it, do you?
You watched that airplane come in, the second one into the tower of the World Trade Center in New York City. Still unbelievable to watch that thing happen. We've got Dr. Meir Litvak on the line. He's currently the senior lecturer at Tel Aviv University, recently in the Middle East, traveling. Dr. Litvak, the senior lecturer at Tel Aviv University, recently in the Middle East, traveling. Dr. Litvak, the senior lecturer at Tel Aviv University, recently in the Middle East, traveling. Dr. Litvak, the senior lecturer at Tel Aviv University, recently in the Middle East, traveling. The senior lecturer at Tel Aviv University, recently in the Middle East, traveling.
Talking to you. Who is an authority here? Please, shut up! You still don't get it, do you? That's what he does! That's all he does! You can't stop him! He'll wait for you, reach down your throat, and pull a hard out!